Hi guys, welcome to Memo's Tutorials. We are continuing with our topic of ecology, and on our previous lessons we touched on the pyramid of numbers, where we said the rectangles will be showing the number of organisms at each trophic level. Now we are continuing to pyramids of biomass, pyramids of energy, and we'll touch a little bit on the food cycles, okay, and the nutrient cycles. So here on pyramid of numbers, your pyramid will be showing the biomass of organisms at each trophic level in a food chain, right? So biomass is actually the total dry mass of an organism. So it is also defined as the total amount of organic matter of an organism, right? It's total amount of organic matter in an organism, okay? And this total amount is measured in kilograms, which is in kgs, and the length, just like on pyramid of numbers, the length of each rectangular block is proportional to its biomass. So if it is long, it's a sign that the particular biomass in that particular trophic level is very high, or it's a big number. If it is small, it means that we have got smaller kgs on that particular trophic level. For example, here we are having we've been asked to construct a pyramid of biomass, and we are told that producers are 1000 kgs, primary consumers they are 750 kgs, secondary consumers they are 850 kgs, and tertiary consumers are 500 kgs. So 500 kgs is our smallest there. I'm sure you can even see that the block is smaller. 1000 kgs being the biggest, followed by 850 kgs, and then 750, 500 being the least one, being the smallest. Okay, so whenever you're asked to construct a biomass, a pyramid of biomass, you just make sure that your rectangular blocks they are proportional to the mass that is given. Okay, so these pyramids of biomass are usually upright, though sometimes they may be inverted, right? Inverted, that's when you have got small producers but they're feeding quite a lot of primary consumers or even secondary consumers. For example, when you're looking at parasites, there'll be quite a lot of them compared to the number of producers that are there. And also, that's all for pyramids of numbers or pyramids of biomass. The last one is pyramid of energy. So the pyramid of energy just shows us the energy of organisms at each trophic level in a food chain. Just like any other pyramid, the length of each rectangular block is also proportional to the energy of organisms at the trophic level. So now, the units for measuring energy, it's joules and kilojoules, right? So kilojoules is just 1000 joules. So this is the best way of showing feeding relationship, as the pyramids they are always upright. So what it means is that the producers they will have quite a lot of energy, because remember they are taking it from the sun. So 10% of the energy from the producers is going to be passed on to the primary consumers, and 10% of the energy that the primary consumers received they are going to pass it on to secondary consumers. 10% of the energy that the secondary consumers received is going to be passed to the tertiary consumers. Okay, so what you need to take note of is that energy is being lost on the way as it moves from primary consumers to secondary consumers. It gets lost along the way. How? For example, let's say it's a goat. A goat will be running around to go get water. It will be running around. As it is moving around, it's losing some energy. It's sweating through, also through excretion, it loses some of its energy, right? So only 10% of the energy is going to be taken by the carnivore, which is an animal that feeds on other animals. which will be, for example, a lion. If it feeds on your goat, only 10%, it's going to acquire only 10%, right? That's why you see that we obtain more energy from eating plants than compared to eating meat. When you eat a plant, you are going to be it's more filling. When you feed on producers, it's more filling because the producers, and they have a lot of energy compared to the animals, because they lose some of the energy as they'll be moving from one place to the other, and also sweating and excretion, they'll be losing energy there. Okay, so now with that being said, we have what we call food cycles. So a food cycle is just a food chain or food web that includes decomposers. Now we looking at decomposers, we're not only focusing on the animals like lions and eagles. Now we are looking at the final part now with the decomposers. So what these decomposers do is that they break down complex organic molecules to simple inorganic molecules, right? And these simple inorganic molecules can then be used by producers, hence completing the cycle, right? For example, let's say a plant has died. Okay, when a plant dies, the decomposers will decompose it. As they'll be decomposing it, breaking down all the organic matter in that plant. So all the useful nutrients, they are getting into the soil, and another plant can actually absorb them from the soil and reuse them again. So this only occurs through the help of these what decomposers. So you need to be familiar with these decomposers. They include bacteria, viruses, the microorganisms. Most of the microorganisms are the what are our decomposers. Okay, so for today we're going to leave it here. See you on our next lesson.